I'm Toya Sykes, and I have the honor and the pleasure of serving as the president and CEO of our next generation. Our Next Generation is a youth serving organization, and we focus on students from 1st to 12th grade, allowing them the opportunity to see what's possible. So everything is really centered around academics, reinforcing what's happening in their school day and preparing them for what's going to happen when they graduate from school eventually. We predominantly work with students who receive free or reduced lunch. About 95% of our students qualify for that in the regular school day. I grew up 10 blocks from here, so it's an exciting opportunity to be in this space. Having been through this space at different ages in my life, I have a different appreciation for the blocks. If it's on me, if it's on me, then it's on I'll take. Yeah. Well, if it's on me, if it's on me, then it's on I'll take. Yeah. Well, if it's on me. So, what was a very interesting and a great opportunity for me when I took this position was to take my kids here on a tour of the houses I lived in. So I'm like, I live right there, I live right there, I live right there. And I think that it immediately gave them a different viewpoint of who I am. I often would tell students when we first met, when they would say, well, no, Miss Latoya, you don't understand. Life was different for you. And I use this one thing all the time. I said, have you ever gone to school and came home in the wintertime and flipped a switch and nothing happened? Yeah, I was like, yeah, so that happened to us like regularly, and what that means is that I flipped the switch and no power came on. Well, why? Because the electricity was off. When you start to pull away layers in and you walk into a room and you want to affect change, the biggest thing for me is to be able to provide some kind of equalization, right? I want them to know that they have choices, they have options, and they really can do anything they want to do. I have been all over the world, and I get a chance to come back to my community and talk about those experiences. I remember growing up on 45th in Lisbon, and a neighbor across the street from me was 1 year younger than I am, and he was selling drugs. And he would always try to get my brother or my cousin involved in it, and I would be like fighting the big sister fight. And I'm like, no, you're not gonna take them, you're not gonna take them. And I remember coming home from school with my siblings, and the police were all over the block. And by the time we got there, they hadn't removed his body. He was laying on the ground. He had been shot in the head. They had robbed him and killed him. He's like laying on the ground, and there's a sheet over him, but you can see the red seeping through the sheet. And so I remember walking up, and like my first instinct was to take my brother and sister into the house so they wouldn't see it. And at that time, my cousin came, who was really like a brother to me. And so he came up too, and I said, no, we're gonna walk over there. And I wanted them to be at the scene. So I'm like a sophomore in high school. And I wanted the boys to see this because that's what I had been fighting for them not to do, right? And so I could tell them, but how many times do you want to listen to your older sister or your older brother? That was a pivotal moment. So no, I didn't think that this kid that was on all this wrong stuff would be a change agent, but he was. Not only for me, but for the other kids in the community. I was like, so look, this is really what you can end up like. The kid's like 16 or 17 years old, he's gone. Because he wanted to wear the nice kicks and run around and do something illegal. I chose to go to the military because I didn't really know I could go to college. But I had two relatives who had gone into the military, two of my uncles. They had gone into the Army, and when they came out of the Army, they bought a house and they got like a real job. I remember signing up, and the but the recruiter was like, well, you know, there's a good chance you're gonna go to war. I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, you did hear what I said? I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, and he was like, well, I need to talk to your mom because I wanted to sign up before I turned 18. So I had to have my mom sign, you know, the paperwork or whatever, and he talked to me again. He says, you know, I'm pretty sure if you sign up, your unit is going to get activated. You know, are you sure you want to sign up? And I'm like, I remember telling him, and I said, you know what? I live in the city of Milwaukee, the inner city. I go to basketball games, shooting breaks out, you know. I went to a game, leaving a game, a boy got shot. I went to try to help him, and he died in my arms, right there on the ground. Boy across the street from me, he got shot. He died, laying on the ground right there. And so in my mind, I was like, so what war you talking about is no different than where I live.